Welcome to my stream. This is the third video I'm doing on this topic, and I'm doing this topic introducing a new series discussing the unspoken rules navigating interracial dating in the divided world. So, with no further ado, I'm going to get right into the video. If you haven't already, subscribe, like the video. I appreciate all of the support, and also I am going to go deep into this topic, so stay with me.
What's y'all type?
Tall. Anyone who isn't white. No white men. Like, I just like darker skin. Yeah.
Okay. Like,
Tall, not white.
White.
Like, you guys, handsome as. What's the next one?
what's y'all type?
Tall. Anyone who isn't white. No white men. Like, I just like darker skin. Yeah.
Okay. Like,
Tall, not white.
White.
Like, you guys, handsome as. What's
Okay, guys, so that was a clip on that doesn't need any explanation, but I'm going to focus on what's going on in the dominant society and how it's affecting black guys. So I'm making this video as a black man through my perspective, and I'm not making this video to hurt anyone's feelings, but you know, people see things, and this is one of the things I see. So now I'm going to talk about how what's going on between you guys are affecting us.
It takes 2 minutes to get married in the system and about 2 years to get divorced, if not longer. If you don't know, it's all a sham. It's all a scam. You know, I'm one of the rare ones that actually initiated the divorce. Usually it's the other way around. And I had a lawyer. She had a lawyer. And we ended up settling. But I settled without my lawyer, and I'll tell you in a bit why. My thing is this. If we were going to settle, why drag it out for 2 years? Why? So the two lawyers could keep making money, that's why. So they can bill each of us for talking to us, for sending us an email, for sending a fax, for sending some email to each other, right? My initial lawyer quoted me a price, ended up charging me like 3 to 4 times, which is totally wrong. I'm not going to badmouth him, whatever. It is what it is. Like I told the judge, I'm never getting married again, because he told me yesterday, you can get married tonight. And I told him straight up, Judge, I will never get married again. With a straight face, like it wasn't a joke. Just to shut him down and let his buddies know that I'm not falling into the system again. Whatever. I'm just saying that just to say that. But we ended up settling. I let go of my lawyer because he was too slow. He wasn't doing anything for me. He wasn't even negotiating. The other side sent me some outrageous settlement agreement. Outrageous. And this guy didn't even flinch. He didn't even say anything. I let him go. And I said, you know what? Somehow I'll figure this out. Luckily, the other side wanted to hurry up and settle. So they sent me a 30-page document. I read it over. Whatever I didn't agree with, I sent.
Guys, when guys like this are getting cooked, things are really bad. But I'm going to show how this situation, the divorce situation between, I'm assuming he was in the relationship. His page name is the Chris Josh. I'm assuming he was in a relationship with a white female. But I'm going to discuss how white women are rebelling, and the symbol of their rebellion is black men. And it's not fair to black men, really, because we are in a situation where we are being fetishized, but we're also a symbol of the rebellion, right? And so what these women are doing, they're using their relationship with the black guy or black man to get back or to rebel against the dominant society, the society that they come from. Now, call it the dominant society, because they are the ones that's the majority in the country, guys. You know, black people are a minority in the country. And I'm going to show how guys are reacting to their women, and as a result, what's going on, because a lot of the women are going to come our way, right? And a lot of women are choosing to come our way that's never even been married. Also, I want to make that clear. But it's really deep what's going on. And welcome to my masterclass on navigating interracial relationships in a divided world. Thank you.
Fellas, never date activist, feminist, or Me Too movement women. Friend zone them, be their friends, and never spend your energy trying to argue or convince them to change. I'm not here to convince anybody what movement or what things should happen with the world, at least not right now. But when it comes to choosing a long-term partner, you want to choose someone who has more traditional conservative values. You don't.
I'm going to pause that because what he just said is a mouthful, but it doesn't, is a coded language, right? It's coded language what he's saying. He's saying one thing, but he means something deeper.
Isn't white. No white men. Like, I just like darker skin. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Like,
Tall, not white. Like, you guys, handsome as. What's the next one? One more.
what's y'all type?
Tall. Anyone who isn't white. No white men. Like, I just like darker skin. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Like,
Tall, not white. Like, you guys, handsome as. What's the next one? One more.
what's y'all type?
Okay. This is the forbidden fruit for them guys. Okay. This is the forbidden fruit. Black men are the forbidden fruit. It's the psychology of the forbidden fruit, meaning when someone tells you that you can't have something, you're going to want it even more. And historically, they have been told to stay away from black men. And now, after years and years and years of women having more freedom to do what they want, they are exercising their options. And I'm going to play a couple videos to demonstrate what I mean. And I'm going to contrast it to what advice the white guys are giving other white guys, and how this is making the problem even bigger. Okay?
Hey, black men. They say that you don't know how to please your women, that it's too rough, it's too fast, and it's all about your finish. And then I met him, and now I know the truth. Because he doesn't just please me, he elevates me. This man.
Guys,
My man, he moves with intention. Every touch, every look, every breath he takes near me feels sacred. And he moves like he's got all the time in the world. Because to him, my pleasure is the destination. He watches me, he hears me, he listens, and he feels and he learns me in real time. And when I think I've had enough, he shows me that we haven't even started.
guys, I'm making this video because it's really deep what's going on. And if you're not aware of what's going on, you must be under a rock. Open rebellion, guys. This is what is the result of whatever has been going on between them and their community. And the result of this is that a lot of them are choosing to be with black men. And I believe it's a symbol of rebellion, you know? And I'm going to show you what the white guys are saying And I find this very interesting because it's not going to have the desired result that I think that they really want. And I think that everybody should be able to have good relationships. But I think that they see relationships as a way for them to lose their resources. Like it's going to end in divorce, they're going to lose their house, stuff like that. And ironically, they are the ones that's been in charge, right? So I'm going to get to the video.
There's still a debate going on showing up in my FYP about men approaching women and women saying men don't approach us anymore. And I'm going to speak as a male. I would never, in today's environment, approach a woman in public at all for anything. I'll look the other way. I was just at the grocery store today. Plenty of females were there. I'm a single guy, no wedding ring.
Meanwhile, this is the advice that he just said, right? Now check this.
No longer actively even trying to date. They're not even trying. And so the question is, well, why is that happening for women? Women, first off, are dating older. They want more economically and emotionally viable men, and that usually means older men. In addition, when young women are lonely, they have much better social networks. They have much stronger friend networks. Whereas guys become kind of lone wolves and kind of literally sequester from everyone and everything. Half of Gen Z.
Now, I want you to understand what they're saying. And I'm going to play this video again, and I want you to pay attention to imagery, okay? And then I'm going to contrast it to what's really going on.
Men no longer actively even trying to date. They're not even trying. And so the question is, well, why is that happening for women? Women, first off, are dating older. They want more economically and emotionally viable men, and that usually means older men. In addition, when young women are lonely, they have much better social networks. They have much stronger friend networks. Whereas guys become kind of lone wolves and kind of literally sequester from everyone and everything.
So guys, what we're talking about is alienation, right? The feeling of being alienated, from human connection, right? And I don't think that you need to make six figures to have a human connection, guys, but we are living in a world that's a result of previous generations' actions. But let's continue. I'm going to slow walk this. Stay with me.
Women can only
It looks like it's taking a second to load. So guys, women are rebelling. But let's get into the deeper psychology of what's really going on, okay? Stay with me.
See, we've been thinking, and God bless Dr. Martin Luther King, a minister but a great political scientist. He said it's about love. Everybody should love. And he got killed. And I say the reason being that if everybody on the planet, all these people, white, non-white, loved, and the love was expressed in sexual activity, what would happen? White would disappear. You see?
Now that's the fear that is not often talked about, guys. That's the fear that's not often talked about. What she's saying is the fear that's not often talked about, right? But I'm going to show you in real time that what she's saying is being played out in front of us.
So I love you till my lungs.
The name of this channel is Coffee and Cream Couple. Guys, you can't make this stuff up, guys. You can't make this stuff up, and it's happening in real time, guys. It's happening in real time. And they are being vocal about what they want.
About black men? Is that why you're up?
That's kind of
Is that why you're up?
That's kind of what he employed.
Yeah.
What if, after having dated black men, what suggestions would you offer to white men? Is there any way to like correlate any of that?
Black men in general, and this is a generalization, seem to appreciate women like me more than white men. There seems to be a disconnect between strong, powerful white men and strong, powerful white women. There feels like I'm a lot of woman. I say what I want to say. I do what I want to do. And that for some reason threatens a lot of men. There's a certain type of men that don't like that. They think I'm too loud or I'm too brass but I'm just acting like a man. You know, I'm not acting like anything. I'm acting like myself, and it's similar to what a man would do, and which would be fine. And there's something about black men that like that. They think that's cute, and they're turned on by my outrageousness or the fact that I don't give a fuck or that I want, that I'll say the thing. And so I like that. So there doesn't feel like such an imbalance. There's definitely like a cultural thing where black men, it feels like they appreciate that kind of thing more. And so that's attractive,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not interested in like that kind of showiness. I don't really need anything except I want a decent, honest, good man who's doesn't have a huge ego that can deal with the fact that I'm going to be in the public eye and that I'm going to get attention. And then I had to tell him like, oh, I just want you to know, I have already accepted that the level of joy associated with finding Jesus is something I will never experience. Like I've already accepted that. My joyful is already tapped out. This is as high as I'm going to go. I'm not going to break the ceiling. So, but that's in relation to you.
The reason why I'm playing this video, guys, is I want you to understand that we're in a situation where a lot of women are vocalizing who they prefer to date, right? And it's so obvious that white women are not only into black men, but they're using black men as a symbol of their rebellion, guys. And I think I should probably
I don't think I've ever loved someone as much as I love you.
I think I should show some of this content and get into the deeper psychology of why this is going on. Now, Chelsea just finished stating on the video about what she found attractive about black men, right? And I would say that white women are pursuing black men. I would say that white women are pursuing black men. Are there some black guys that's pursuing white women? Probably, most likely. But it's really the other way around. And the result of this is so obvious what's going on.
5 reasons why I prefer dating black men over white men. I don't need to say the obvious. But in addition to the obvious, they're also very adventurous lovers. And they want to do all the nasty things, and they like really that look real pretty. Second,
Now that is like reproduction is like one of the base levels. So of course she went there. Okay. Of course she went there.
secondly, they're gentlemen. They never forget their manners. Always opening doors, pulling out chairs, walking you on the inside of the sidewalk. Number 3, they love to treat their girls. They like to get their girls' nails done and their feet done. That's not a white guy thing. It's not. Number 4, they're very masculine. I love a masculine man.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Now I'm going to play something else, guys.
About men approaching women and women saying men don't approach us anymore. And I'm going to speak as a male. I would never, in today's environment, approach a woman in public at all for anything. I'll look me.
This is what these guys are saying.
Of Gen Z men no longer actively even trying to date. They're not even trying. And so the question is, well, why is that happening for women? Women, first off, are dating older. They want more economically and emotionally viable men, and that usually means older men. In addition, when young women are lonely, they have much better social networks. They have much stronger friend networks. Whereas guys become kind of lone wolves and kind of literally sequester from everyone and everything. Half of Gen Z.
Okay.
So kill him, because that would mean our genetic disappearance. So if the system
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I thought I was sharing my screen. Let me get to what I was trying to show you guys. I was trying to show you this. Okay. I was trying to show you this.
clue about what is going on. See, we've been thinking, and God bless Dr. Martin Luther King, a minister but a great political scientist. He said it's about love. Everybody should love. And he got killed. And I say the reason being that if everybody on the planet, all these people, white, non-white, loved, and the love was expressed in sexual activity, what would happen?
Okay, now in real time, I'm going to show you what's really going on. That was our great master, mother teacher, Dr. Francis Quest Westling. And I'm going to get into showing you in real time what the white women themselves are saying, what they're saying.
I'm going to tell you why the Slavic women, they like the black or the really dark men. To be specific, by the way, Polish women.
Let me replay that. Cook.
Like Eastern Europe. I'm going to tell you why the Slavic women, they like the black or the really dark men. To be specific, by the way, Polish women, like Eastern Europe, they fucking love black men. And if you ask them, they'll tell you they're more masculine. They smell amazing of coconut oil. They tend to like really look after themselves. And by the way, when I go to get a manicure and a pedicure, there's always black men in there getting their nails done. They actually look after themselves, but at the same time, they're really masculine. Yeah, Dutch women go crazy for them. When you're talking about Russia, they'll sort of accept anyone if they're dark. Like, they go crazy for Mexicans. That's why Mexicans leave. They find a Russian snow bunny, they bring them back to Mexico, and then they go to LA and the story of love starts. But yeah, Slavic girls, they've just got this obsession, you know? Oh, another thing, you probably know this, but like, the darker men have more outstanding milk. And that's probably another way they're just slightly persuaded over to the dark side of life.
Guys, I'm gonna play that again. Because I think she's trolling. Whoever she's trolling, she's really rubbing it in, guys. But this is the second or third video that I've played on this stream where the key word that they keep saying is more masculine. And I think that this is one of the reasons that bring conflict with black men with white men or white men with black men. Because, you know, if you have somebody behind closed doors telling you this, when you go outside, you're probably going to treat black guys a certain type of way, even if that black guy is not even interested or don't even know that white women, the average black guy don't even know that white women are this interested in them. And the ones who do know, they don't want what comes with it, guys. It's a lot of drama and unnecessary confusion that comes with interracial dating on both sides, respectfully. Could you agree?
I'm going to tell you why the Slavic women, they like the black or the really dark men. To be specific, by the way, Polish women, like Eastern Europe, they fucking love black men. And if you ask them, they'll tell you they're more masculine. They smell amazing of coconut oil. They tend to like really look after themselves. And by the way, when I go to get a manicure and a pedicure, there's always black men in there getting their nails done. They actually look after themselves, but at the same time, they're really masculine. Yeah, Dutch women go crazy for them. When you're talking about Russia, accept anyone if they're dark. Like, they go crazy for Mexicans. That's why Mexicans leave. They find a Russian snow bunny, they bring them back to Mexico, and then they go to LA and the story of love starts. But yeah, Slavic girls, they've just got this obsession, you know? Oh, another thing, you probably know this, but like, the darker men have more outstanding milk. And that's probably another way they're just slightly persuaded over to the dark side of life.
Guys, she said they have this obsession, you know? She called it an obsession. Now let me play this.
Gen Z will be the last generation with white majority in the US. Gen Z Americans born between 1997 and 2012 will be the last generation with a white majority, a new study has found. Updated US Census data suggests non-Hispanic white people will make up less than half the country's population by around 2045. Gen Z will be the last generation with white majority in the US. Gen Z Americans born between 1997 and 2012 will be the last generation with a white majority, a new study has found. Updated US Census data suggests non-Hispanic white people will make up less than half the country's population by around 2045.
And meanwhile,
FYP about men approaching women and women saying men don't approach us anymore. And I'm going to speak as a male. I would never, in today's environment, approach a woman in public at all for anything. I'll look the other way. I was just at the grocery store today. Plenty of females were there. I'm a single guy, no wedding ring. I'm not approaching anybody. In fact,
I'm playing that video to stress this point. With that type of thinking, it's no wonder we have situations where this is what's going on.
Gen Z will be the last generation with white majority in the US. Gen Z Americans born between 1997 and 2012 will be the last generation with a white majority, a new study has found. Updated US Census data suggests non-Hispanic white people will make up less than half the country's population by around 2045. Gen Z.
Wow. Okay. Back to the case study. Let's slow walk this.
You don't want a headache. You don't want a woman that's asking you a million questions a day or bossing you around like they're the man. You want someone that is feminine, that lets you lead, and has more conservative traditional values. Dating a feminist or activist will ruin your life. And also avoid any woman who has slept with more than 5 men, because that imprints into their brain and it causes a higher chance of divorce and cheating. When you meet traditional, incredible women, usually are first generation Americans or just have really strong family values.
Is my mic on? Okay, guys. Look at the comments. One of the comments says, "Leave us alone. Thank you." Another woman says, "Hey ladies, alert, red flag, alert." Guys, this civil war that they got going on between them is interesting to watch. I'm pro family, you know what I mean? But I think that what's going on is the result of this.
I'm going to tell you why the Slavic women, they like the black or the really dark men. To be specific, by the way, Polish women, like Eastern Europe, they fucking love black men.
I'm going to pause that and then I'm going to come back here because he said something about getting somebody.
When you meet traditional.
This is what they don't understand. This is why they need to travel more, God. Get your passport, bro. You're saying go to Europe and get a woman from Europe, basically, is what you're saying. And they're going to be more traditional. I don't think you've been to Europe. I don't think that you understand.
Incredible women, usually are first generation Americans or just have really strong family values.
Now watch this. This is from a European herself. She's telling you herself.
Or the really dark men. To be specific, by the way, Polish women, like Eastern Europe, they fucking love black men. And if you ask them, they'll tell you they're more masculine. They smell amazing of coconut oil. They tend to like really look after themselves. And by the way, when I go to get a manicure and a pedicure, there's always black men in there getting their nails done. They actually look after themselves, but at the same time, they're really masculine. Yeah, Dutch women go crazy.
She stressed the word really in front of the word masculine. Interesting.
Crazy for them. When you're talking about Russia, they'll sort of accept anyone if they're dark. Like they go crazy for Mexicans.
Russia, you guys. She goes into Eastern European countries, guys. And then later on, she's going to use the word obsession.
That's why Mexicans leave. They find a Russian snow bunny, they bring them back to Mexico, and then they go to LA and the story of love starts. But yeah, Slavic girls, they've just got this obsession, you know? Oh,
you know?
Another thing, you probably know this, but like the darker men have more outstanding milk. And that's probably another way they're just slightly persuaded over to the dark side of life.
Man, when that guy goes to Europe, he's gonna be really surprised, guys. Because what he thinks it is not what you think it is, you know. And it's interesting to watch this in real time, guys. Hold on. It's interesting to watch this in real time because they are openly putting these videos out. And I think that the deepest part about it is that Before, when people in my community would say, hey man, she chose me or she's all over me or whatever. No, that's not what's going on. But what the internet is showing you in your face what's going on, guys. This is not something that I made up. But I don't even want a white girl. My choice is a black woman. But a lot of my brothers are probably going to end up with a white girl or some of my friends. And then this is what's going to happen. And then this is where I get thrown into the mix because I'm riding for my bros. This video. They said she was flirting with me and her husband walked up and started tripping. Look, she's holding on to the guy. Her husband got his arm around her. He's like, man, the girl in the back is like, what's going on? Why she tripping? Guys, the whole problem is that they want us. That's the truth. That's the truth. But we have to navigate this because maybe they want us for selfish reasons. They want us perhaps as a symbol of their rebellion against the system. It's not necessarily pure, but it's the forbidden fruit concept. When you tell someone that they can't have something for so long, when they do get it, now they're going to, oh, I got it now because you told them for so long that they couldn't have it.
Anyone who isn't white, no white men. Like, I just like darker skin. Yeah.
I just like darker skin.
Okay, okay. Like,
Tall, not white. Like, you guys, handsome as. What's the next one?
what's y'all type?
You think that these are the women that's saying don't approach them? When they're saying don't approach me, I don't want to be approached. You think they're talking about guys like that?
Men approaching women and women saying men don't approach us anymore. As a male, I would never, in today's environment, approach a woman in public at all for anything. I'll look the other way. I was just at the grocery store today. Plenty of females were there. I'm a single guy, no wedding ring. I'm not approaching anybody.
Now let's talk about the guys who do approach, right? I believe it's an alpha trait to approach, right? Men hunt, right? Sperm chases the egg. But let's hear what the younger guys and guys that do approach say.
Divorce rates are actually fucking cooking in America right now. Like half of marriages end up failing because of divorce. So I'm probably not even gonna get married, or at least not marry an American girl, because I don't want her taking half my shit and my kids. So that's what it seems like is happening for most dudes in America right now. I'm this close to just becoming a passport bro after school, and when I'm done with everything that I need to focus on now, and just moving to Europe, becoming a passport bro, finding a wife out there, moving back to America, or even living out there. Like, wouldn't be opposed to living in a different country. But it's very sad. Like, divorce is on the rise, and it's only going to get worse. Like, you getting married right now is kind of setting yourself up for failure unless you like truly trust your wife or your husband.
Okay, I'm going to keep it a book. This isn't an unattractive guy, right? He's clean shaven. He's groomed. Uh, a little stylish. And if a guy like this is not even going to enter the dating market here, and here's the problem, guys. If you go to Europe, what if you go to Europe and it's not what you think it is? What if you go to Europe and it's not what you think it is? What do I mean by that? You go to Europe and it's not what. I'm gonna play the video. You go to Europe and you realize that you're not the primary choice in Europe. What are you going to do then? You get what I'm saying? point of view, you moved in together and now this Friday look like this. Man. Guys, it's really deep what's going on, man. And they are rebelling. It's like all out rebellion, guys. And the black guys are a symbol of that rebellion. And at the same time, the media is telling us this.
Z will be the last generation with white majority in the US. Gen Z Americans born between 1997 and 2012 will be the last generation with a white majority, a new study has found. Updated US Census data suggests non-Hispanic white people will make up less than half the country's population by around 2045. Gen Z will...
Now, why is this happening? Why is this happening? If you made it this far, you watched this much of the video, you know, I've been beating a point, you know, hitting the nail on the head. Pow, 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 pow. But why am I doing that? Why am I stressing the point? One, because our attention spans are not that long. So since we have a dwindling attention spans, I have to sometimes repeatedly reiterate the same point to keep the audience together. But why is this happening? Why is this happening? I don't really have the clear answer, but I know what some of the greatest minds that I have listened to have suggested.
You see, so kill him, because that would mean our genetic disappearance. So, if the system is about white genetic survival, what do they have to worry about most?
Black men, white women.
Black babies.
Black men, white women.
Okay, give him a B+. Black men, white women. Okay, but let's even take it further.
Let's take it further. Okay. See, in order to get into the why, we would have to get into the problem. Stay with me, guys. A lot of times, us as humans, when there's a problem, we avoid it. We avoid the problem because it makes us uncomfortable. Right? But in order to solve the problem, you have to go through the discomfort. So this is going to be a little bit uncomfortable. But it's important to understand the psychology of the people. And we will look at the evidence to see what's going on. The psychology is that they have to do certain things in order to prevent this from occurring.
In that if the concern is white genetic survival, they don't have to worry about black women. Why? See, the test is going to be next week. The reason being is that men, males, whether they're white, black, brown, red, or yellow, can impose sexual intercourse. If I would, try to impose sexual intercourse on any of the gentlemen here, and they said, I'm sitting next to my wife, and I went to my purse and I got my Uzi. and I frighten the man, what's going to happen?
It's not going to work.
I hope everybody got that.
Wow. Now why am I doing this? Because this is what's going on, guys. This is what's going on in the world today, guys. We're having a lot of women vote by I don't even know if they could do anything more than just show you straight up like, hey, this is what we're doing.
Men can only
Every time I try to play that video, it won't let me. But you get the point that a lot of women are showing you who they want, and they're rejecting their own men, and they're seeking out black men as a symbol of their rebellion, of the forbidden fruit.
I like my man tall and skinny, you know? That way when it's time for me to get on top.
Even a garden.
Pick him up, slam.
Even a garden, taking the forbidden fruit, When people hear things like that, or they experience things like that, it makes them seek out what they're being told to stay away from, And a lot of times the stereotype is, oh, black guys are getting the ones we don't want. Oh, we are getting that they're getting unattractive women, overweight women and things of that nature. Nah, man, that's not what's going on. What's going on is that a lot of the black guys are getting very, very attractive women who happen to be white. And this is what creates the conflict. I believe that when this creates the conflict, so I need to teach the guys about why am I talking about this, because that's one side of it. And another side of it is that this can still end bad for the black guy. More than likely it's going to end bad for the black guy because he's being used as a symbol of rebellion, guys. This is what this guy's saying. Oh.
Think I'm gonna Irish goodbye. She still looks good.
It says she used to only date black guys, and someone says that's what I call a waste of women right there. And he titled this "Can't Compete." Man, so it says made you look, Black Lives Matter. They're trolling the people in their community, guys. It's an act of rebellion. And I think that a lot of this causes conflict. Relationships like this cause conflict because when people see this and now it's being played out in real time, it's causing people to have animosity towards us, which we kind of used to the smoke, but it's just very interesting that we are the ones who are, historically been said that we were chasing them, when you can see that these people are all over us. You know what I mean? And I don't think there's any wrong with dating outside your race. I just think that it's clear at this point in time that it seems though a lot of white women are choosing the black men. Now, mind you guys, the black men are a very small population. They're a very small population in this country. It's not a lot of black men, right? But then you have videos like this where you have guys like this saying this, and it's
To
just
convince anybody what movement or what things should happen with the world, at least not right now. But when it comes to choosing a long-term partner, you want to choose someone who has more traditional conservative values. You don't want a headache. You don't want a woman that's asking you a million questions a day or bossing you around like they're the man. You want someone that is feminine, that lets you lead, and has more conservative traditional values. Dating a feminist or activist will ruin your life. And also,
but see, when guys say stuff like this, that's not what women hear. Women don't hear it like that, guys. And what you're going to do is you're going to throw her in the arms of someone who's a little bit more chill. Now that's either true or it's false, right? And I'm going to show you what I mean. This is what's going to happen, guys. You think that this guy is probably sitting there telling the girl, hey, I want you to be this and be that, or do this and do that. No, he's not telling her that, guys. And as a result, this is causing a lot of people to like freak out, because it's like, how can we control this? It's getting out of control, right? Man, it's getting out of control to a degree, guys, because a lot of these women are verbally saying what they want. They're saying it, right? They're saying like, oh, I want this, you know? And is leading into this, guys.
Will be the last generation with white majority in the US. Gen Z Americans born between 1997 and 2012 will be the last generation with a white majority, a new study has found. Updated US Census data suggests non-Hispanic white people will make up less than half the country's population by around 2040.
But look how their guys are coming off. Like when your guys are acting like this, like angry because of like how you present,
in
is
a
like,
long-term partner, you want to choose someone who has more traditional conservative values. You don't want
when women hear that, it turns them off, bro. Like, and it's so much, they call it red pill content. It's so much content like that, guys. They don't like it. Women don't like it. Guys, if you feel that way, get some therapy. Stop making videos like that. Preaching to the women, telling them what they should like. People are going to like what they like.
a headache. You don't want a woman that's asking you a million questions a day or bossing you around like they're the man. You want someone that is feminine, that lets you lead, and has more conservative traditional values. Dating a feminist or activist will ruin your life. And also avoid any woman who has slept with more than 5 men, because that
Now, how are you going to know that? How are you going to know? How are you going to know that? You're not going to know who a woman has been with before you. That's silly as nonsense, you know? And
Women
then
saying
you
men don't.
and then you have guys like this saying, don't approach women, stay away from women. Man, it doesn't seem like a winning formula for you guys. You know?
On
Honestly,
showing up in my
life without women isn't worth, I'm not going to say necessarily worth living, because I would still want to live. But come on, guys. It provides balance, right? We need women. I need women. I need my woman, right? Um, women are just amazing, man. Like, and there's pros and cons, right? I'm not trying to just glorify. Women have flaws too. I have flaws, but women are amazing, right? Some amazing women out there. You're telling me you're not going to approach any woman at all? What's the alternative to that? Just be solo by yourself? Come on, man. That's not a winning formula. In my opinion, that's not a winning formula.
FYP about men approaching women and women saying men don't approach us anymore. And I'm going to speak as a male. I would never, in today's environment, approach a woman in public at all for anything. I'll look the other way. I was just at the grocery store today. Plenty of females were there. I'm a single guy, no wedding ring. I'm not approaching anybody. In fact, I'll avoid some aisles. I went down the one aisle. I saw a bunch of women down there. I turned around and went down to another aisle. I don't want.
Guys. 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 While you're not approaching, somebody else will, guys. While you're not approaching her, someone else will approach her, guys. The guy who approaches her will have a better shot than the guy that don't approach her, guys. And if you tell me that you've seen an attractive woman, now I want to just go to the basics. So let's use that logic. Let's say you see an attractive woman. She's beautiful, man. Like, and she's inviting. You're in a safe area. You're not even going to approach her. What? That does to me, honestly. I could see if it's like, you're not even going to approach her. But someone else will. Someone else will approach her. And it's very interesting what's going on, guys, because a lot because if these videos didn't exist, a lot of people would say that the black guys are just, making it up, you're the least desired, like no one wants you, you're this and you're that. Nah, that ain't true, bro.
What's your type? What's your type?
I think my type is physically the opposite of me, so dark hair, dark skin, dark eyes. Like, that's what I like.
What's your type?
I think my type is physically the opposite of me, so dark hair, dark skin, dark eyes. Like, that's what I like.
What's your type?
Man. Oh. Why am I saying this? Because I just find it so interesting that you have guys that's giving younger guys this advice.
And saying men don't approach us anymore. And I'm going to speak as a male. I would never, in today's environment, approach a woman in public at all for anything. I'll look the other way. I was just at the grocery store today. Plenty of females were there. I'm a single guy, no wedding ring. I'm not approaching anybody.
Is that a winning formula? I don't think so. So thank you guys. This has been my live stream. It was a masterclass, the unspoken rules navigation.